Welcome to our Chanel Top 10 Banned Snacks. Number 10. Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Cheetos have been a lunchbox nourishment for some children since they were presented over 50 years prior, yet it wasn't until the 1990s that the Flamin' Hot assortment would effortlessness cafeterias. Regardless, in spite of the fact that unquestionably scrumptious, the famous hot tidbit was prohibited in a few school locales in New Mexico, California, and Illinois on account of its absence of dietary benefit, and, supposedly, due to an unintended result that may have froze guardians. In light of a high measure of red color in Flamin' Hot Cheetos, they turn the stools of the individuals who eat huge sums an upsetting red or orange tone, making superfluous excursions there from went ballistic parental figures tricked into accepting there is a veritable health-related crisis. Number 9. Kinder Eggs. Ferraro, an Italian brand, is the producer of a famous bite formerly called Kinder Surprise, yet more regularly alluded to as Kinder Eggs. The first Kinder Eggs were made out of a milk chocolate and cream shell, within which is a plastic holder. Within the holder is a little toy, one that regularly comes in a few pieces requiring get-together. Youngsters love the exceptional mix of sweets and toy, while grown-up gatherers may receptacle the chocolate and keep the toy. However, the Food, Drug and Cosmetics Administration, FDA, in the United States was determinedly neutral. Despite the fact that Kinder Eggs were allowed for import into Mexico and Canada, they were restricted in the US. Why? Since it is unlawful for candy to contain a non-nutritive article, for this situation, a toy. The principles further specify that the offer of any treats that has implanted in it a toy or knick-knack is prohibited because of worries over the gagging danger. Notwithstanding, in mid-2017, the Kinder Joy opened up in the US, as that item bundles the chocolate and the choc independently. Number 8. Chocolate milk. In late 2019, Tempe Elementary School District in Arizona restricted an apparently guiltless nibble from their break rooms, chocolate milk. In doing as such, they joined Washington, D.C., Rochester, NY, Minnesota, and San Francisco, who had just prohibited the treat. For Tempe's situation, the boycott was essential for a bigger activity to eliminate the measure of added sugars and high fructose corn syrup devoured by the understudies. In spite of the fact that the Arizona chocolate milk kibosh was not met with any generous grumbling by guardians or understudies, or so it was accounted for. The circumstance was totally different for the New York City Department of Education, additionally reflecting on a decision against enhanced milk items at that point. A few New York Congress individuals voiced worries that the boycott would hurt dairy ranches. Number 7. French fries. In a move that promptly turned into a staple of drive-time DJ discussion and late-night punchlines, Representative Weaveney, an Ohio Republican who was, at that point, the seat of the Board on Organization for the House of Representatives, prohibited, not a nibble itself but rather its name, French fries, and furthermore toast were not to be sold or devoured in the House cafeteria, yet, opportunity, fries were all right. This was obviously for representative political reasons, as France wouldn't uphold a battle in Iraq post-September 11th, and they felt that eating French fries was consequently unpatriotic. As ludicrous as this sounds, he had point of reference. During World War I, German names were off-limits in the United States, including sauerkraut, rechristened Freedom Cabbage, and German measles, Freedom Measles, obviously, around then. Germany was an American adversary while, in 2003, France stayed an American partner. However, in any case, there were no French fries in the house until August of 2006, when the name was changed back without exhibit. Number 6. British Cadbury Chocolate. Numerous Cadbury chocolate lovers are confounded when they purchase the nibble in the United States. Noticing that the flavor is notably unique in relation to the genuine British Cadbury bars they're comfortable with. These people are not envisioning things. Chocolate Goliath Hershey claims the rights to make and market Cadbury bars in the US, yet it utilizes an unexpected formula in comparison to across the lake. The fundamental deviation is the main fixing, milk in the UK form, sugar in the American. The English chocolate additionally has a higher fat substance and no additives. Hershey's boycotts the offer of British-made Cadbury chocolate in the United States, and is forceful about shielding their turf, in any event, suing little shops who attempt to pull off selling the imported stuff. Despite the fact that Hershey is certifiably not an administrative organization, it claims all authority to break down hard on its permitting arrangements, which implies that, sadly for Anglophiles, it has the power to attempt to stop the offer of the British items on American soil. Number 5. Cupcakes. Has there ever been a more lively nibble than a cupcake, especially a birthday cupcake, shrouded in icing and sprinkles? Possibly not, yet that didn't stop North Shore Elementary School in Knox County, Tennessee, from restricting them in 2016. A note was sent home to guardians that made getting cupcakes for birthday events or other extraordinary events or occasions significantly untouchable. Indeed, Principal Brandon Pratt went about as the food police for anything the children brought from home, demanding that the food meet severe calorie, sodium, sugar, and fat rules, while protecting his standards, notwithstanding well-being concerns. Pratt referred to a damaging episode from his first year in control where an understudy ate as sweet and was sent into anaphylactic stun because of a sensitivity. The way of life of the school has changed to some degree since the rules went into place. For instance, on Valentine's Day, understudies are urged to trade little things like fixed supplies, and not the more conventional sweets. Number 4. Milkshakes. The vast majority of the tidbit restrictions on this rundown are US en route, yet this one is a little extraordinary in a bigger number of ways than one. Police requested a particular McDonald's in Edinburgh, Scotland to stop selling milkshakes for a day. This was because of their area, as the cheap food joint was close to the site of an occasion to be gone to by Brexit campaigner Nigel Farage. Dissidents had been known to assault individuals they disagree with by soaking them with the liquefied frozen yogurt drink. It turned into an undeniable development after a 2019 video portraying an individual hurling a McDonald's milkshake at Tommy Robinson, a British political campaigner, who might endure a recurrent episode only a couple days after the fact became a web sensation. More focused on milkshake rocket assault struck dread into law requirement authorities, finishing off with the eatery close to the Farage occasion hanging a sign on the entryway that read, "We won't sell milkshakes or frozen yogurts this evening. This is because of a police demand given late occasions." Number 3. Soda. It was in reality because of the prohibition on this tidbit that another rose to acclaim, pop. In the last part of the 1800s into the mid-1900s, blue laws were passed in numerous states. Blue laws are strict in nature and confine whatever may be viewed as pleasurable enough to be wicked. The offer of alcohol on Sundays was a significant one. However, another was a prohibition on sucking soft drinks on the Sabbath. For what reason isn't completely clear. However, it presumably had something to do with youngsters congregating at soft drink shops. These bite counters managed in root brew boys and frozen yogurt soft drinks, which were produced using a soft drink base with frozen yogurt drifting on top. Unexpectedly, the retailers required another, legitimate, treat to sell on Sundays. Thus they traded the soft drink for syrup and the ice cream sundae was conceived. Curiously, the spelling changed sooner or later from sundae to dessert, which was potentially a gesture to the way that by that point they were similarly as mainstream as the soft drinks and sold on all week long. Number 2. Pizza. Pizza is a tidbit that can be a supper in the event that you're passing by the cut or the pie. Regardless of what you need to call it, for the inhabitants of San Vitaliano, a modest community in Italy, it essentially turned into an issue. In 2015, the small town was being gagged by exhaust cloud at levels all the more regularly found in enormous urban communities. The astonishing offender was resolved to be wood-consuming stoves used to fire pizzas. Organizations in the town were restricted from utilizing the stoves except if they were fitted with an uncommon channel. Pizza creators in San Vitaliano were justifiably irate, guaranteeing that their pies were not to fault for the air contamination. Mount Vesuvius, a generally lethargic, yet not wiped out, fountain of liquid magma sits under 20 miles from San Vitaliano. So it's conceivable they had a point. Number 1. Popcorn. It appears to be insane to consider appreciating a film on the big screen without the consistent soundtrack of people chomping on popcorn. However, at a certain point, the bite was restricted at cinemas. At the point when films originally opened, they screened quiet movies, which required a more significant level of education and pulled in more complex crowds who regularly dressed and acted as though they were going to a conventional theater. The film houses themselves mirrored this with costly decorations, including extravagant floor coverings that proprietors didn't need food ground into, henceforth the restriction on popcorn. With the creation of talkies, film-going society changed thus did the theaters themselves. Proprietors acknowledged they could make a tremendous benefit selling popcorn in their entryways, thus we will currently perpetually connect the rich nibble with our number 1 motion pictures. Thank you everyone. Please subscribe my channel and like a video, then click the bell icon.